Is, Um, hey, great atmosphere. Just unfortunately, we didn't play the way we'd hoped to play. So a lot of credit goes to Duke. They played a great game, and they obviously have a great team and a great program. And it was an honor to play them here. And I wish it would have went a little better for us, but that's how it goes sometimes. So let's get this done.
Questions? You want to raise your hand? You spend a week ramping up for this, just in the immediacy of the loss. Tommy, what's the most frustrating part for you and the staff after what you saw transpire for 2 hours?
We obviously coming off another loss. So we had a week. Where there was a sense of urgency, and we felt like we were addressing things, and just to come out and we didn't play great. And so now we need to take a step back and figure out why. Are there some schematic problems? Are there, some problems with how our personnel is kind of put together? And those are the things we're going to take a look at. I love the guys. I mean, I like the plan, but obviously, when it's not going as well as you would like, you got to be honest with yourself and try to figure it out. So, we got to figure out what our certainties are, the things we have to have, and then, over the course of the next couple of days, if there's adjustments we need to make, we need to figure out what those are.
Jason in the back.
I know it might be too soon after the game to answer this, but offensive struggles tonight, how much of that was, you think, you guys versus what Duke was doing?
I mean, probably a combination of both. I feel like we had some good looks in the first half that just, from good shooters that just didn't go in. But then, we wanted to try to get the ball inside. They did a good job keeping it out. And then when we kind of got it in there, I think their size and length impacted that a little bit. So, I thought Duke came out and played really physical and battled, and I was hoping that would be a little bit of an advantage for us, but it wasn't. So, we got to go back, and probably a little bit of it is, one of the answers always is, do what we do a little bit better, and we got to fight a little bit more, and then the next answer always has to be is like, don't be stubborn. If there's adjustments we need to make, let's figure those out.
KJ, when he was being interviewed, said that he felt like the second half of the offense kind of maybe got a little stagnant, that there could have been more movement from the guys out there on the court. Did you see that in terms of?
For sure. I mean, they did a good job kind of pressuring our bigs, and then kind of making our wing touches a little bit harder, and we've always been a program that's been pretty good in transition, and we got to get in transition a little bit more, and then when we get opportunities, we got to cash in on them. So that's something we've been working on. But you get into these games, and it's maybe some of the decisions by the players haven't been, where I would hope they would be, playing on 2 feet, using a fake instead of going for all for nothing plays all the time. So, that stuff we'll continue to look at and see if we can get better.
Brian, go ahead.
Are you concerned at all about Caleb in maybe looking tentative at times when he had a shot and didn't take it?
I mean, listen, obviously we all know Caleb, has a well-documented story, and he's my guy. He's not playing great right now. I mean, I just got to be, 100% honest, and but it's my job to hang with him because, this isn't the NBA. There aren't trades. You're not releasing guys, and I know this. Caleb's had so much success in college basketball. If we hang with him, it's the right thing to do, and we'll be rewarded for that. So I'm going to hang with him and trust that, better days are coming.
Physicality in this game. So you almost hope that the memory of how physical Duke was lingers with your team into Big 12 because you're going to face more teams that can play as rough and tough as Duke was with you tonight.
Yeah, I think we're built for it. That's how we want games to be. So I didn't think it was anything crazy. I think our guys just have to have a little more wherewithal and to find ways to take advantage of that. Our physicality.
Tommy, for you personally, does this feel just a weird place to be? Like you said, you felt things were coming back. You've never lost back-to-back. You never lost November until last week. And here you are.
Bruce, I appreciate all the reminders. Things that have never happened here. That's great. Listen, Bruce, I'm humble enough to know that it's not always going to go easy. And I've always just felt for myself, the harder things get, the better. Because I think I'm built for it. And, I'm going to hang with my team. We're going to take a day off tomorrow. And, we're going to kind of circle the wagons, and we're going to find a way to go down to the Bahamas and win game by game. And wouldn't it be awesome if we flipped the script and I'm a realistic optimist. I understand, we may not be perfect, there may be flaws, but I'm also optimistic that if we address them, that we can come out on the other side. And the great thing about college basketball is we're 2-2 in a long season. We haven't even played a conference game yet. And I'm not trying to diminish these two losses at all. I mean, they hurt. They hurt a lot. And, it was a tough week for me. And this is a tough night for me in the program because we had a great opportunity. But, we're going to bounce back, and we're going to, give Davidson everything we got. And then if we're fortunate enough to find a way to get through that one, the next opponent, we're going to give everything we got.
Anything else for Coach? Go ahead, Juan.
Jaylen and KJ were a huge role tonight. How would you describe their performance? They were a good portion of the offensive production.
I mean, listen, those dudes play incredibly hard, but what I got to figure out is, why the pieces aren't fitting together as well as I would like or as well as we're used to. And, it's nothing with those guys, but I'm definitely looking more at the bigger picture now than just on individual performances. Because to me, this is a team game. And, my thought, what I kind of wrote down on my notes today was TTE, total team effort. And I don't think we got that. So, I got to go back and really figure out, what it's going to take to get a total team effort.
You've already said that it wasn't the game that you guys wanted tonight, but just a spotlight, Duke, Arizona, the home and home series. Is this something that you would potentially like to continue moving forward?
For sure, I would love it. And I think Jay Billis had the best quote of all. Just talking to him today, and obviously he's a great guy, and we know he's a Dookie, but he's also a great guy. And he told me, he wishes that college basketball had a little bit more of the NBA feel to it, where you play these big games and you win them or you lose them and you get on to the next one, And in college basketball, it's not like that. When we're a program like Duke or Arizona and you lose a game, I mean, it's, panic ensues, because so for me, I love playing in this. I mean, I don't know how well I'll sleep tonight. Maybe good, maybe bad. I don't know. But I love the opportunity of playing Duke at home, and I wish, we had more opportunities to do this stuff, and we weren't so fearful of losing, because if you're fearful of losing, you're never going to take the opportunity for a great environment like we had tonight.
Two questions. The first one, Crevis looked a little uncomfortable tonight. I think the guys said they were doubling him a lot in the post. What did you see?
I'll have to go back and look at it. First off, I think our stat keeper's got to get better here, because I probably jumped him at halftime a little bit, because in the halftime stat sheet it said he had 5 turnovers, and my staff informed me after the game he only had 2. So, that would be nice, because I'm going off the stat sheet they hand me. I'm not arguing with it. He's been practicing better, and we're kind of amping him up, and I might not have made the right decision today starting him. He's a starting level player, but he didn't play great. But Tobe's been playing so good, and Tobe not starting had nothing to do with him. It just has to me with trying to figure out how to play these 4 bigs, and I just think the combination of my overall overriding thought has been a Big Mo and Trey could be a good combo, and that Henry and Tobe could be a good combo. And then the game kind of got weird. I don't think there was sometimes these games happen. There's you have your first media time at under 16. But we had good refs today who were letting everybody play. And so, that the next thing you know, it goes to 13. We would have subbed 3 or 4 minutes earlier normally. And, you're kind of waiting. I didn't want to waste the timeout. So, I don't know. I mean, that's something I got to look at and really think about. Big Mo's a good player and he's going to have a great season. But, he's still coming back from the injury. And, and I think this will be a great learning experience for him, and something for me to figure out.
The guys, if you said it, the other guys have said it. It's very early in the season. We're only 4 games into it, so you want to be patient, but you also want to see results. How do you kind of balance?
There's no patience. It's a massive sense of urgency. Let's call it what it is. You ain't gonna see me out on the town tonight. I got work to do. So let's get to work. You know what? And then, let's see where we're at in a month. And if we're still struggling, you know what I'll do? I still got work to do. But I'm going to get to it.
Jason, go
KJ mentioned the Arizona standard and maybe getting the newcomers up to that standard. Is that something that you find having to work on consistently?
I mean, you know, listen, everyone has a standard. And I'm not going to single out newcomers or returners. We all got to get better. I mean, there's no one. I mean, I told our guys that today. Not one person in our locker room is pointing a finger at someone else. Everyone's looking internally first, and then secondly, looking at the group. That's it. So, you know, I don't think that at all.
Just following up on Mo, does that mean he's cleared fully as far as minute and limitations on him,
I think so. Yeah.
And just to follow up, could you, you've never done it really, but like start depending on the defensive matchups that you see or whatever?
I mean, yeah, those are all things I got to figure out. You know, I mean, I got to figure out what makes our players most comfortable and most effective. You know, because I probably didn't do Tobey a good service today because, you know, I told him kind of before the game that I was thinking about doing this, and he was so agreeable. I mean, because he's such a great dude. You know, but he's been playing well. And so, you know, maybe it wasn't tonight to do it, but, you know, but I mean, I was just thinking about pairing those bigs is my overriding thought. So I'll figure that out.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, I know it's not your personal history, but I was wondering if anybody's told you last time this team went to the Bahamas and how that was kind of a rough deal.
I've heard a lot of stories about that. Yeah, you know, hey, and Bruce, right now, I mean, oh, come on. Let's go. We play Davidson. I don't know what time we play them on Wednesday. Let's just find a way to get a win. I mean, that's going to be the mindset. We're not looking at anything beyond that. We're back to the day-to-day deal. You knocked me off it a couple of days ago, but I'm back on day-to-day. So.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.